Come follow the brick wall. It's your girl Eva K, and I'm ready to eat. Hey, who ready to eat with me? Who ready to eat? Come bread with me, let's break bread. Come break bread with me, let's break bread. We about to eat this food and get fed. Come break bread with me, let's break bread. Now bow your head, hey, cause we gotta say the grace, cause we about to eat, we about to eat. I can't wait to eat. Let's eat, big girls, are you ready to eat? Come eat with me and let's talk. I want to get all in your business. What you gotta say? What you gotta say? I'm ready to laugh and I'm ready to play. Come on and break bread with your girl Eva K. Let's break bread. Hey, it's your host Eva K, and I am here with the lovely Miss Paulette Johnson Jackson.
Yes.
We're going to get into all of that. Today, our food comes from the Wild Boa. It's an Asian cuisine. And our video was sponsored by Monty Queener and Sharon P. Neal. Thank y'all so much for sponsoring our food today.
We appreciate it.
Yes, we do. We're going to say our grace and get it in because we got a lot to talk about.
A lot of heavy stuff.
A lot of heavy stuff. Bow your head. Now we thank you, now we thank you for our food, for our food. Father God, we thank you. Father God, we thank you. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Yes.
So, what do we have here?
So we have the Boas.
Now, what is a boa?
A boa is like a big dumpling. So some are spicy, some are teriyaki, some are Mongolian beef. We just got a mixture of those.
And then right here we got some pot stickers. This is my first time ever having Asian cuisine from this place. Now, Paulette, how you doing today, sis?
I'm doing wonderful.
This I have a teriyaki bowl and she have a spicy bowl. We have to figure out which one is ours. So Paulette is my sister,
Yes.
more ways than one. Today I have on shirt with our father on it. R.I.P. to our dad. He passed away 8/16/2020. So 2020 been a hard year. So my mama has 7 kids. Paulette is number 7. I'm number 6. We have the same mama and daddy, and we're also in the same sorority. Hey. Zippai. Okay, so Miss Paulette, while I try some of this lovely cuisine you have so eloquently ordered for us, can you please tell my viewers about yourself?
So me and Eva are 6 years apart, and she thinks she's more like my mother than my sister.
Yeah, I'm her mom.
So kind of everything Eva did, I just kind of followed behind because nobody said anything Eva did was wrong. So
you would have to go into details on that.
Eva graduated from Austin East in 2008. I graduated in 2014. Eva went to college, so I went to college. Eva graduated, becoming a Zeta.
What about going to Africa?
So yeah, Eva became a Zeta, so I became a Zeta first. I became a Zeta my freshman year of college. Eva went to Africa right before she graduated college. So the year that I went to Africa, they were not going to Ghana. They went to South Africa, so I went with the same man. I just found him, said, hey, my sister went with you. I'm going to go with you too. My sister trusts you, so I trust you too. My sister married a man named DJ. My husband's initials are DJ.
This is all true, guys.
Eva quit her job and became a stay-at-home mama. I quit my job and became a stay-at-home mama. Eva became a TA, and I started a week after Eva started. So anything Eva did, I just kind of followed behind her because who said Eva was wrong?
So our like dynamic is kind of crazy because our older sister is like 43, Trina. She's been on the show. My mom's been on the show. My brothers. So Paulette is like, you know, she's like the precious one. She's more sheltered than the other 6 of us. So I always, no, let me tell you. First of all, let me back up. My mama always made me take her places with us.
Always.
Always, no matter where I went, you know, we was out ganging people, fighting. It didn't matter. She had to be with me. So I always like over shelter her. Like, I want to try yours, hold on. Like she was my daughter.
And she called herself my sister mama.
Yep, I'm her sister mama. But when Paulette turned 13 years old, I found her diary. And she wrote all this mean stuff about me.
Dang.
So how was your childhood growing up? Because we had two totally different experiences. I lived in a project for rats and roaches. She never had to go through that.
I mean, my childhood was good, you know, for the most part. You don't realize your family's different till you hear about other people's families. So I thought my family was perfect. You know, my daddy had 2 wives. I just kept it going. I seen all my brothers and sisters every day, kept it going. My daddy never missed a basketball game, soccer game, never won. Daddy was there. Mama the loudest one in the crowd, don't know what's going on. So, I mean, I had a good childhood. Wasn't until I was in the 8th grade. Mom got cancer. Daddy had a stroke in front of me. Eva was off in college, but Eva was a person I could always call. You know, I used to see all my siblings every day. They still come to Mama's house every day, even during the pandemic.
They need to stay their butts at home.
So, I mean, it wasn't until that I got older that I noticed, like, things were different. Like, oh, my mom and my daddy were not married, even though in my head, I just assumed they were married. I mean, I've always been very outgoing, trying new things.
We're very adventurous.
Very adventurous.
Our father was adventurous, and we always went on like little expeditions and explored the city and went out of town. So that's what we kind of did too. So I studied abroad in Ghana, West Africa, and then she studied abroad. She had a totally different experience in South Africa, Johannesburg. And then talking about her husband, because she is married and have 2 beautiful kids. Her husband is from the Philippines. So what, every 2 years?
Yep, every 2 years we try to go back to the Philippines. He was born in Kuwait. His parents were both representatives for their country. So his dad is American, mom was Filipino. Lived in the Philippines most of his life. My baby speaks 2 languages. He's 6'4", beautiful man.
We'll post a picture, a family picture.
Most beautiful children. So, I mean, me and my husband, we're best friends. Got married, just thought about it. Was like, okay, let's get married. We got married with nobody else. We just went to Florida, got married, came back.
So how is it being married to someone that's a different culture? Because most of y'all who watch, you know, my YouTube, we're from Knoxville. We're not exposed to a lot of different cultures. So to be married to a man that's have dual citizenship, Kuwait, which is in the Middle East, and then the Philippines, which is in Asia, and then America. So how is that?
Just really thinking like, okay, well, we were not raised the same, so the norms that we have here does not apply to an interracial relationship. Even though he is half black, he was raised over there and have the same customs. So my husband was raised Catholic. My husband's dad died when he was very young, so he was raised by a Filipino stepfather as well. So he doesn't even have that, like, oh, my dad was black, I know black culture. He wasn't raised by his dad at all because his dad died so when he was so young. His mom had cancer as well as my mom. And his mom passed away when he was 17 or 18. So even dealing with the loss of my father, he had lost both of his parents before the age of 20. So he was able to, you know, show me that, you know, life does go on. This is how you grieve. And grieving is different for everybody in different cultures. So just knowing that you can say, like, you're not stepping on eggshells in your own house. You say, hey, we didn't do that in my house. We do this. We can compromise. We can do this. I ain't doing that. But you just got to work it out. And it's a partnership every step of the way, every day.
Because it's hard. It's hard, especially like you're 26. 24. I'm thinking about the Reese in my head. Like, you're 24, I'm 30, right? And we're just now losing our father. And even me being 30, I have to realize some stuff I say might come out. I'm not trying to be rude, but I got 30 wonderful years with my father, you know, so I try to just relish in those good memories, not understanding that you only had 24 years. I don't know what I would have did if I lost dad when I was 24 because when I was 24, I did not have my head on straight like you do. Um, my role models look different than your role models look. You know what I'm saying? I was chasing a faster life than you were chasing. So I don't know what I would have did if I would have lost daddy at 24. And having a husband that's my rock that let me know no matter what, I got your back. You take your moment, you grieve, he give me space, he take the children. That is important.
Very.
And that's what people need to know. Being in a relationship and being married, it could look all nice and fancy, but behind closed doors, when you dealing with mental illness, because we both deal with mental depression.
Throw me out there.
Look, it is what it is. I mean, that's hereditary. That's hereditary. We both deal with depression. We both are manic. We have our ups and our downs. And to have partners who, I always say, me and DJ, we married, but this is a partnership. Like, that is my partner.
Yep.
He knows when to back off. He knows when to take the kids and just take them on a ride. That's important. So, with being married so young, because, honey, I don't know. You've been a mama. Now, okay, we're going to back up a little bit. Because Paulette was a mama before she had biological children. Paulette raised one of our great nieces. And she did all this while going to school, becoming a social worker. So do you want to talk about that a little bit?
I sure will. So, summertime, going into my senior year of college, I'm living the life. I'm an OL on campus, so I'm a big dog on UT's campus.
Orientation leader.
Orientation leader, my bad. Living the life. My car's in the shop because I'm like, had to get something fixed on my car, so it's taking longer than expected. So I get a phone call and it was like, hey, some stuff just happened with Malaya, which is my great niece, and her mom is calling me. She's like, they said if you're not here in 30 minutes, she's going to foster care. So immediately I shut down, break down. So one of my coworkers was like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, can I borrow your car? I was like, I'll explain everything later. Just let me borrow your car. She was like, listen, I got 4 mouths to empty. I was like, I'll ride it till the wheels fall off. I ain't grab a wallet, nothing. I went to go pick her up, and I get there, and they tell me all this other stuff. So I'm just like, where's she at? I just need to get her. I just didn't get her. So the lady explains to me, it'll be 6 months if her mom works the program, blase, blase. So I'm like, okay, cool.
She was only supposed to have her for 6 months.
So I'm like, cool. So mind y'all, we back up. I'm a month away from getting married. We planned our wedding. It's kind of a little secret. So I'm like, okay. Month away from getting married, so I have to tell them that, I'm in one place, I'm in a 1-bedroom, but after I got married, we were moving to a 2-bedroom because, we wanted to have kids soon. So I'm like, okay, boom. So we moved that day. Literally, when the lady got there, all we had was bed. So get my niece, they signed the papers, they do come to my house for a home visit. I had people help me. I'm like, okay, take the girl back her car, somebody else take me back to my house. I'm like, okay. So I tell my job right then and there, I quit. In the middle of an orientation where everything is hectic, we have new vols coming, I just quit on the spot. So I'm like, I'll tell y'all about it later. So get my niece, they're telling me I can get this and I can get this and I can get this resource. So I'm like, okay, where the resources at? After the lady signed the paper, she's like, oh, well, if she don't complete her program, you can have her until she's 18. Mind you, my niece had just turned 3. I'm like, but you said 6 months. She's like, oh, well, that's if she works the program. Y'all were family. Y'all should be close. So mind y'all, I moved to my 2-bedroom. My niece, who is Malaya's mother, I give her the key to my 1-bedroom. I'm like, just stay there. I'll pay for everything. In 3 days, I got a call and was like, y'all got to be out in 7 days. We got too many noise complaints. You got too many people in and out. It looks like drug traffic. And I had to stay there a whole year. No problems. Never had a call. So fast forward, we go through issues. I get married. Malaya, we have our ups and downs. So fast forward 3 years, I have a 2-year-old. I'm pregnant again, and stuff just hit the fan. So I'm like, okay, I need help. Mind you, I had to take her to classes. She getting kicked out of school. I done had to quit jobs, everything. 3 years, and didn't really get no help from her mama. So I'm just like, okay. So I had it in March of 2020, and I hired Janae Anderson, who was a bomb family lawyer, And I'm like, Janae, listen, I got a degree in social work. I want to be able to use my degree. I got to get rid of this kid because, you know.
Not get rid of her.
Not get rid of her. I have to relocate this kid because it is causing me mental issues to have someone's kid that, one, a mama not helping me, two, a daddy not helping me. So it's like I got a kid that can't get no help from neither parent, and I didn't birth this kid. So after
Plus,
3 years,
with you being a social worker,
yeah,
if anything was to happen, you could lose your license.
I sure can, and that's why I could not just terminate my rights on my own. I had to go through a lawyer and figure everything out through the court system, because if you just give a kid back and say, okay, well, this kid can go to foster care, that can look bad on you, and then you can't use your degree.
So because we have to unpack a lot of this here, because we love Malaya. Malaya's everything. She's with another family member.
Mm-hmm.
But you had to do what you had to do for the sake of your future.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have, like you said, you had 2 children back to back. In her husband's culture, they have multiple children. So he wants to have more children.
More.
So it was just getting to be too much for you. So
having DCS called on me. People lying on my name.
that's a whole different story for a whole different day. See, I don't think they're ready for that story.
Yeah, I ain't ready for that.
But this is for people who are taking care of their family members that they didn't birth. Because our family has been through so much with people getting jealous because the child was taken care of too good. So they start making up lies and, lying not only on her, but on my mother, and saying,
they ain't ready for that. They ain't
ready for that.
They ain't ready.
They ain't ready for that.
Because y'all think we tell you something off Lifetime if we got
Well,
that.
our family is very, very, very complex. It's very difficult to navigate through sometimes, and it's a lot to unpack. Like I said, we already deal with mental issues. That's one of the reasons why I do this show. It helps me talk to other people and know that I'm not crazy. That it's more people out there going through stuff. So we wanted to make this video for married women, young married women at that, people in interracial relationships, because your husband does not look white or look Asian. People think that you're in a relationship with a black man. He's a black man. I'm not trying to say that, but it's interracial, period.
Yep.
Interracial relationships look different. Most of us just know of black and white interracial relationships.
And then it's a language barrier. The language he spoke at home was Tagalog, but in school he spoke English, so he speaks proper English and not slang English, because that is what, you would speak day to day when you're just at home. So sometimes when I say stuff and then he translates it in his head is something other. So sometimes, a disagreement may just be like, oh, well, I didn't mean it that way.
A misunderstanding.
It's just like, when I translated it, it's not what it's supposed to mean when I speak proper English. So,
because like even black people, when we say, "Girl, that's bad," to us, we know that that's bad. That means like that's cute, that's fire. But if you say that to somebody who like don't know, they like, well, why is that bad? And you can make them feel bad about themselves, all because you're speaking Ebonics.
yes.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
Oh.
Code switching.
Code switching. Yeah. Code switching.
Yeah. I speak one way to your teachers and one way to
See,
your
and
homegirl,
that's why
one
I
way to your
can't.
mama.
I can't do that. I can't keep up with it. So I'm just me. I'm big. I'm black. I'm boisterous. If you don't like it.
Oh, no, I can change my voice. Hey, girl, how was your day?
No, cuz. I can't do none of that, cuz. Can't do none of that. So let's talk about your children. Because you have step children. So how was that? Being a mother, balancing work, life, and love?
Okay, so I used to love to work, love getting money, love chasing a check. Had my daughter, worked until I couldn't work anymore, until I was put on bed rest. So I have...
As a social worker?
Yes. So my daughter, her name is Autumn. She is 2. And then my son, name is Dion Jr., and he is 9 months. But they are the exact same size. They wear the exact same shoes. They wear the exact same clothes. My son will be a giant. So,
It's so juicy.
it's great having my kids so close because they have somebody to play with. I don't have to have anybody come over. They entertain themselves. Of course, I'm right there every step of the way. I'm a very involved mother, sit in the ground, play all that. But go to work every day, come home, pick them up, fix dinner while they're playing. You know, my biggest dream in life wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I wanted to get married at 18, kids 19, 22, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
How many kids do y'all want?
So now that I've actually experienced, you know, having kids, we have settled for 5. So we are gonna take a break, let these 2 get about 4 and 5, and then have, you know, 3 more, so they can have somebody to play with. Then I got somebody go get the diapers, somebody go get the wipes, formula.
Oh wait, honey,
Run inside the store.
2 and done. So with your husband's culture, do he also cook and clean?
Not really, no. So my husband's biggest thing is a man's gonna work. Because the language barrier, my husband has kept a job that was paying him less because they did not think he spoke the best English. And they thought they could get over on him. And I was like, no, baby, we quit jobs, we make some more money, we move forward. But
he don't believe he quit the job. I'm like, look.
He did not. So he
Dion,
worked
quit.
2 competitive jobs for 2 months. And I was like, you working 60 hours a week. You gotta quit, you gotta come home, you gotta figure it out, pick a job. Which one pay him more, that's the one you pick. And he know if I call him, but babe, I don't think this job working out, he know I'm about to be at home.
I'll quit a job. Woo.
In a minute.
Woo. Because my peace is more important.
Yes.
Me and you have both had jobs to where, you know, our coworkers are being bullies.
Yes.
They're just being downright rude, and then we quit.
Mm-hmm.
Once I called DJ, like, look, DJ, XYZ happy. It's okay, Eva, just quit. Thank you. You have a good day. I now resign from
Babe,
this position.
Don't you think it'll be better if I be a stay-at-home mom and we don't have to pay for daycare?
But he would rather you be at home.
He would, but it drives me up the wall. I gotta find another job.
So what is your goals for like 5 years? What do you see yourself in 5 years?
Making more money than what I'm making now.
What does that mean?
Right now I make X. In the next 5 years, I need to be making X times 2.
What do your dream job look like? See, it's hard for me to interview you because I know everything about you, so I'm trying to fill in the gaps.
Okay, so in the next 5 years, I want to have my master's. I am going back to school in January to get my certificate in school social work, so I can hopefully work for Knox County Schools. But in the grand scheme of things, we do want to relocate outside of Tennessee just to start something new, fresh by ourselves, you know, establish what we want our family to look like.
And why is that?
You know, it's a lot of influences, you know, do this, but don't nobody want to watch my kids. So, I mean, it sometimes...
Your kids only want you. and Miss Jane at the daycare.
Shout out to Miss Jane Lawrence. I love her. My son loves her. My daughter loves her. So, I mean, sometimes you think like, okay, I feel this way, and I'm in Knoxville, been in Knoxville my whole life, never left, went to school here, kids here, and it's like, well, why should I feel alone when I'm where I started, when I can be alone in a new place, establishing new things? I just believe Tennessee is not the place for us.
Okay, listen, because this is a whole nother conversation that needs to be had.
Girl.
Okay, and I learned this by having my own children. Mind you, in our household, my mama's children, everybody was teen parents. 1 through 5 was teen parents. And then it's me 6, her 7. I did not have my first child till I was 25. So I was like the cool auntie, you know what I'm saying? Damn near a granny, because my mama was a granny at 27. So if you think about it, I was a granny's age having my first child, okay? So I done babysit everybody kid, done bought everybody kid stuff for Christmas, birthdays and stuff. And then here I am, I have my own child. Now I'm not I can't lie. I thought I was a little more special. Because I did have my kids so late in life. I had graduated college, did this. And I had a man that I was marrying. So I expected people to like automatically watch my children and do all this stuff because that's what I did. That's what I did. Didn't nobody ask me. I wanted to watch people's kids. Yep. I wanted to buy stuff for people's kids. And then when I had my children, it was only my daddy. And it was like, What's going on? Do grandparents not? I wouldn't let my daddy watch my children because my daddy couldn't walk. By the time I had children, he couldn't walk no more. You know what I'm saying? By the time baby Dallas was old enough to walk, my daddy was in a wheelchair. So he couldn't watch my child. What he gonna do with her? My child would run laps around him.
Roll him around.
Listen. So why don't families come together no more? Where is that village?
Listen, I thought I was a unicorn. I was like, let me do one step better than Eva. I even got married before I had my first kid. We was married 6 months before I got pregnant. I was like, okay, I'm a unicorn. The world is going to revolve and sunflowers and roses and everybody's going to love her because I am a unicorn and she's the best. No, I was wrong. My daughter...
I love your daughter, though.
Yeah, you do love my daughter and she loves her Eva. But it's like... people see that you have that help and they're like, oh, well, you don't need no babysitter. You got a man. Oh, honey, you married. What you need a date night for? Take them kids with you. But let little Susu over here be 16 pregnant. By 17, she at the club driving it low. Thankful babysitter, granny.
See, that's the thing, too. Everybody assumes because you have a husband, you have it easier.
Yep.
And that's not true. That's not always true. Now, I can't really speak much for because my husband don't want to go nowhere. He'd rather be with his children. If his children not invited, don't invite him. Period. I'm the opposite. Fuck them kids. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you don't say fuck them kids if you take care of them kids.
Only if you take care of them. But honestly, you know, I'm just joking about that because I don't want nobody to take that the wrong way. But seriously, I honestly want to go out and I want to have fun, but I'm scared to ask people to babysit. Because I know the answer's going to be no. And I don't like rejection. Rejection is just like, it'll make me shut down.
It'll make me never talk to you again.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something about my kids. Well, Autumn needs some diapers. Tell me that one time. You won't see Autumn until she got 15.
See, that's holding grudges.
And I hold them well.
But only time you ask for something, though, is if you really, really need it.
Yep. My husband believes I should not ask anybody for anything. My husband, if he needs to go get it, he's going to get it one way or another. If he got to sell his toenails, he's going to sell his toenails.
Now, let me ask you this, because you have more friends than I do. How was it being married and your friends were single? Because my friends were married. Like, we all got married within, like, the same time.
I mean, people was kind of like, oh, don't marry him. You don't know him. He could be crazy, blah, 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 blah. People say that and have a baby daddy. That's crazy. I mean, at first... a lot of people just was not receptive of me getting married. And I was like, well, this is a good guy. I've had trash in the past. Y'all should be happy for me. No, but you don't know him. I got married anyway. It wasn't until we had been married a while that people start coming back around. I really quit talking to people because if you was not in agreement with my marriage, you ain't got to say nothing to say to me. So, now that I'm married, if my husband's off, I don't want to see no friend. If my husband at work, we can have dinner. You can bring the kids over. We can play. We can go out to the pumpkin patch. But if my husband on, don't come over.
Look, you know what's so funny about people not agreeing with you being married versus me? Because I literally only knew DJ like a day.
7 days.
7 days. And we was married and had a child on the way. I was already 8 months pregnant and only knew him 7 days. No, that's a joke. But listen, people were so happy. Like, my mom and daddy was so happy that I actually had a boyfriend. They didn't care. Like, once my daddy met her, and my mom and them already knew him because he grew up in Christopher Heights, you know. But I was too young to know who he was. But all my brothers and sisters already knew DJ. And they was just happy, like, is this really who you want, DJ? They didn't even ask me. They went like, Eva, are you sure this the man you want? They went to DJ and was like, are you sure?
Because it's a lot to deal with right here.
Yeah, you have to be a special person to deal with her. Are you sure? And he was like, yeah, I love her. I only knew me 7 days. That's what that wop. I know him longer than 7 days, but shit, honestly, I really didn't. I didn't know nothing about him. I just knew he was my husband. But I just think it's funny that people gave you flack about that.
Oh, yeah. You just want to be married. You just want to do something for the next person. Trust me, being married is not for the faint of heart. Being married is hard. If you ain't ready, don't get married. But I wanted to be 18 and married. So in my mind, I was like, okay, well, God, when is my time coming? Because I'm past 18, God. Like, God, I know he for me. If he for me, let him marry me. When he asked me to marry him, when tomorrow, okay, we get married. I ain't had nobody there. Ain't need nobody there. Ain't need nobody by nothing. Me and him on the beach. Beautiful.
You had a beautiful wedding.
Beautiful. By ourselves.
You weren't at my wedding.
Nope.
Even though I didn't have a wedding.
Let me tell you what Eva did. So Eva wanted more attention from my daddy. That's Eva loved when me and my daddy was not together. Because then both pots went to Eva. Eva waited till I got on a plane. Flying to Africa.
I waved goodbye to you. I dropped you off.
6 hours later, this woman is at the courthouse getting married.
Bought a $30 dress from Ross. DJ, let's go.
Didn't wait on her favorite sister. Not in one picture. I called her when I landed. Eve, I landed. She said, oh, I'm married. I was like, okay. Without me. So.
It wasn't really about you, though.
Everything's about me. But one thing I do feel I thought about today, my daddy had 2 wonderful, great women of daughters that got married and, you know, beautiful families. And he didn't get to walk neither one of us down the aisle because neither one of us, she went to courthouse, I was on the beach.
But he was there for everything else.
He was there for everything else.
I don't think he really cared that we walked down the aisle. Now, honestly, I wanted to wait till my 10-year wedding anniversary because I had never had a boyfriend. I had never lived with nobody before. So being married, I wanted to make sure we was really together.
Test the waters before I spend that money.
It was going to really be together because a lot of my friends was having really expensive weddings, buying really expensive wedding dresses, and they looked beautiful. And I liked it being bridesmaids in their wedding. That was enough for me. I just wanted to go to the courthouse. I loved him. He loved me. I didn't need all that flashy stuff. Now, my 10-year, they're going to be like, Eva, no, she wrong. I'm saving for that now, honey. Because we're going to Hawaii.
And I'm going to be right behind her. Eva say her I do's, we might say ours. Oh, she got married, what, July 5th? July 2nd. My wedding anniversary, July 25th. Right behind her. Right behind her.
I don't think that's a bad thing, though. It's actually an honor that you look up to me. Like, even joining the same sorority. Once I joined Zeta Phi Beta sorority Incorporated, and she went to college and I knew she was looking, I told her, I'm not paying for nothing else. You're going to be a Zeta, that's it. You can look into it, you can do the research, you either pledge Zeta or you don't. And she said, yes, ma'am. And that's what, I'm your sister, but I'm your sister mama.
She is my sister mama.
And we see each other every day. And if not, we on the phone 10 times a day, FaceTime. Our kids love each other. They think they brothers and sisters.
Yeah, they call each other sisters. Well, Ananya, her 4-year-old, and my 2-year-old, they believe they're twins sometimes.
Yeah, they think.
And we let them believe it. You gotta build strong relationships. And that's a strong one we do have.
Do you have any regrets? When you look over life, any regrets?
I think my biggest regret is not going to a college outside of Knoxville. Okay. Because when people tell they college stories, they're like, oh, I made this friend and this friend. Well, I was still hanging with the same friends I went to high school with because we was all still in Knoxville. So.
That's my only regret, too.
What? You didn't go to school here, though?
No, but I should have went to Alabama. For
probably,
grad school. I wish I would have went to grad school.
HBCU. I looked at Alcorn State University. But it just didn't happen.
Well, any final words? We've been talking for 32 minutes.
Nope, I think this is about it.
Okay. Well, we love y'all. We just want to come try something new. Wow. W-O-W, Boa, B-A-O. And again, thank you to my sponsors. Thank you to all the viewers. We love you.
Try the food. You got to get it from DoorDash or Grubhub. You can't go pick it up yourself.
You can't pick it up yourself. It was really good. Honestly, I could have used a little more chicken, but it was really good. I had to save my kids some rice because they love this rice. They love rice. They ain't never had this, but yeah.